Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are going to present about the contribution of Maqasid Sharia in the infrastructure development of a developing country. What does it mean by infrastructure? Well, infrastructure can be defined as the basic physical systems of a business, region, or nation and often involve the production of public goods or production processes. Examples of infrastructure include transportation systems, communication networks, sewage, water, and school systems. Every person in this world, despite having different traditions and cultural backgrounds, reserve the right to live in a safe and well-maintained infrastructure. Infrastructure development is one of the essential things for human beings in their economic development. In this video, we will expose about what are the contributions of Maqasid Sharia in the infrastructure development of a developing country. Why is infrastructure development so important to a developing country? It is important because businesses are powered by infrastructure, which also connects workers to their places of employment and residents to possibilities for healthcare and education. Communities benefit from opportunities it brings about, and a strong infrastructure is necessary for an economy to move goods and services and link supply chains. Other than that, the importance of infrastructure in Islam is very significant. Maqasid Sharia plays an important role in the infrastructure development of a developing country. Throughout this video, we will also be discussing about 5 important questions that will end your inquiry, which are: what do we need to know about Maqasid Sharia? What are the significance of infrastructure development? What relevance does the theory of Maqasid have in the study of economic development from the Islamic perspective? What role can the Maqasid play in understanding economic issues and analyzing economic performance? And how does Malaysia implement Maqasid Sharia in the development of the infrastructure in the country? What do we need to know about Maqasid Sharia? The branch of Islamic knowledge known as Maqasid Sharia dives deeply into the motivations and ultimate goals of Islamic law. It researches how to apply Islamic law to obtain the desired result while adhering to the spirit of the law. Islamic law can be applied in a more comprehensive and multidimensional way using the Maqasid method. Maqasid al-Sharia, or translates to Objective of Sharia, is a term that refers to the preservation of order, achievement of benefit and prevention of harm or corruption, the establishment of equality among people, causing the law to be revered and effective, as well as enabling the Ummah to become powerful and respected. Maqasid al-Sharia, or Maqasid, is the general objective of Islamic legislation, which consists of the deeper meanings and inner aspects of wisdom considered by Allah in areas and circumstances of legislation. Maqasid Sharia has 3 levels of necessities, which are Daruriyat, Hajiyat, and Tahsiniyat. Everything that preserves these 5 fundamental goals is seen as maslahah, and everything that leads to their abandonment is regarded as mafsada. What are the significance of infrastructure development? A healthy society would not exist without infrastructure. Infrastructure is needed for basic services like healthcare and education. Communities and companies require access to markets and commodities in order to function and prosper. In addition to meeting social demands, infrastructure should be assessed for its long-term effects, taking into account the resources needed to maintain durability. If several of the proposed sustainable development goals are to be accomplished, reliable, efficient, and long-lasting infrastructure will be needed. One of the significance of economic infrastructure and its effect on the economy is the economy's efficient operation. They act as a development wheels without which the economy would not be able to run smoothly. Next is the expansion of agriculture. The growth and development of irrigation, credit, transport, power, marketing, training, and education are crucial for the development of agriculture. The third one is the industrial development. The growth of the industrial sector of the economy will be directly influenced by these operations and infrastructure. Another significance would be the investment promotion. Those areas with a strong infrastructure foundation may be able to attract even more cash for investment. Moreover, an increase in productivity would also be the effect of infrastructure development, as the advancement of science and technology is crucial for boosting economic production. Lastly is the employability. Infrastructure development could increase the labor productivity, efficiency, and mobility. What relevance does the theory of Maqasid have in the study of economic development from the Islamic perspective? Development should be in line with this fundamental Sharia goal. Islam's definition of economic development is a balanced, long-term improvement in both a person's material and immaterial well-being. Economic development is a multifaceted process that involves advancing, reorganizing, and coordinating the entire economic and social systems in accordance with Islamic principles. Islamic principles and economic prosperity are linked in two different ways. First, economic development has been described as a balanced and ongoing progress in human well-being, both material and non-material, which cannot be fully realized without a high moral standard derived from Islamic principles. Second, funding for Islamic education and other Islamic objectives is necessary for the formation of Islamic ideals. This expenditure is predicted to be positively correlated with one's income and amount of Iman belief. What role can the Maqasid play in understanding economic issues and analyzing economic performance? Maqasid plays an important role in better improvement of the financial system, social and political systems, government spending, and all things related to economics in a country. Maqasid Sharia has its purpose, which is to increase economic performance today. Its role is to stabilize economic growth and solve an economic issue that occurs in a country. It is very important to understand that maslahah is the main thing that should be considered before implementing Maqasid itself. It also places equal emphasis on the ethical, moral, social, and religious dimensions to enhance equality and fairness for the good of society as a whole. Unlike the conventional financial system, it focuses primarily on the economic and financial aspects of transactions only. Maqasid ensures that all the Sharia guidelines are applied to Islamic banks. The establishment of Islamic institutions and banks has created job opportunities for many people. The issues such as injustice and unemployment in a country shall be eliminated when a country manages to create more jobs from Islamic bank institutions, as well as open up more business opportunities. In addition, the attraction from foreign Islamic traders to import or collaborate with the companies will increase because of the Sharia-compliant rulings that are applied to most companies in a particular country. As a result, the rate of gross domestic product will increase, which leads to an increase in the economy and a good economic performance. How does Malaysia implement Maqasid Sharia in the development of infrastructure in the country? As a Muslim country, Malaysia did make a handful of implementations of Maqasid Sharia in the development of infrastructure. It can be particularly observed as below. Firstly, the existence of smoke and vape-free zones. Malaysia has implemented smoke-free zone in various infrastructures such as public parks, worship places, theaters, government premises, public toilets, elevators, schools, universities, petrol stations, libraries, shopping malls, and gymnasiums. In Islam, the acts of smoking and vaping are prohibited. Allah mentioned in the Quran, "And do not throw yourself with your own hands into destruction by refraining." Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 195. The implementation of smoke and vape-free zone aligns with one of the Maqasid Sharia, which is Hifz al-Nafs, protection of life. It is known as a fact that smoking is a dangerous activity for our health, while vaping has a similar effect. Laboratory tests were conducted by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration on the components of electronic cigarettes. They discovered diethylene glycol, a hazardous chemical for the human body, in one of the samples. A smoke and vape-free zone also protects other people's life, as secondhand smoke, which is also harmful to non-smokers, is not inhaled by them. Secondly, Malaysia implements Maqasid Sharia in the development of infrastructure in the country by providing halal certificates for food premises. As a Muslim majority country, the halal status of food served in food establishment is a must. Nowadays, the number of restaurants in Malaysia is increasing rapidly, and they are striving to obtain halal certification from Jabatan Kemajuan Islam Malaysia in order for the Muslims to eat at their restaurants without being hesitant. In conclusion, the Maqasid Sharia is a representation of the divine purpose and aims that Allah has included in His Sharia, which comprises rules and regulations. In its purest form, Sharia necessitates this as a foundational principle. Specifically, primary goal of Sharia is to achieve, attain, and fulfill kindness for people. Maqasid al-Sharia also functions as a comprehensive legal system that seeks to protect people's interests in both this role and the next. The goal of the SDG 9 is to build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation, and it's the same with Maqasid Sharia, which is Hifz al-Nafs. Islam promotes public well-being as a crucial component of achieving Islamic sustainability, also known as the Maqasid. Islam places a high priority on achieving better living conditions, including education, improved healthcare for the general population, and realizing the maqasid. Even Sir Adam Smith, the founder of Economics, spoke in favor of wise resource management for the benefit of all people. By shedding light on the welfare of the community, it is anticipated that this will in turn help people and larger issues and may very well result in total economic advantage through prosperity and harmony. This may thus ensure the economic sustainability. Regardless of color, ethnicity, or religion, Islamic teaching and lifestyle encourage wellness and pleasure for everyone. As the Quran declares in verse 107, "We have sent you forth as nothing but mercy to people of the whole world." Sustained growth is a necessity and drives towards an equitable society where all are better off. It is mentioned in the Quran that Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change their own inner self. To put it another way, it is Allah's command to improve, but it has to be for the better and for all, and not just the minority. Islam therefore fosters social cohesion and economic prosperity through the maqasid, by encouraging ethical and rational growth and protecting the environment. Therefore, simply said, Maqasid Sharia governs and regulates the Sharia principle in a business and Islamic bank in a country. The growth of an economy, especially in an Islamic country, will increase with the application of Sharia rulings in every institution. A good economic performance will not also come without the will of Allah. It is strongly recommended to implement the Maqasid Sharia in the current business transaction because it will make a good relationship between the objective of Maqasid Sharia and the objective of the business transaction. From here, we can observe that an economic performance is becoming better by applying Maqasid Sharia as mentioned earlier. It is obvious that it protects the finance and wealth in the daily business activities in the society in a developing country. Last but not least, the adoption of Maqasid Sharia in the development of infrastructure helps in filling the inequality gap in the necessary circumstances and adds a compassionate dimension to societal goals.